So this is a video of my husband doing a trim to fit window decal on our 2018 4Runner. He's got painter's tape up top to help line up the design where he wants it. And you can tell he's kind of rubbing his finger along the line of the window so he can see where the decal needs to go. And now he trims off all the excess pieces, so you're not fighting the vinyl on your car when you're trying to figure out on your window. Make sure your window is very clean, because any grit or anything underneath it is going to cause little bumps in the vinyl. The spray that he's using is a few drops of baby shampoo and water. And as you can tell, it kind of works from the middle out, because if you start from the edges and work inward and you get a bubble, it's just going to get bigger. But if you have a bubble from the middle, you can push it out to get rid of that bubble underneath the vinyl. This part you're going to want to be very careful with. He took a razor blade and he is cutting along the line, the groove of the window. But he does, he has said to be careful when you're doing this and take your time. The entire installation, I sped it up because it was a 20-minute installation, the entire process of him doing this. I sped it up to about a 10 to 12-minute video in hopes that, the length didn't drive anyone too nuts. But he is a bit OCD, so he likes to take his time when he gets to doing vinyl and stuff. So you'll notice when he starts, he's got the transfer sheet pretty much fold over so it's, touching itself, and then he's going to kind of hold on to that top corner of the vinyl, especially with the flags, that big chunk of vinyl to start with. It helps to kind of hold it in place while you fold the transfer sheet completely over and just almost roll it back off of itself. Instead of lifting it up off of the vinyl, you're kind of rolling it away. So you see here, he's got it folded completely back on itself, and he's holding that big chunk of vinyl down just to get it going. Back and forth a bit to kind of help release each edge, so you're not pulling directly on one section. You're kind of slowly working your way from the edges inwards. And see how he's got the vinyl completely folded over flat, instead of trying, so you're not pulling it up off the window, you're more pulling it just slowly away from the vinyl itself, helping it not try to pull away from the window as you're removing the transfer page or tape. Vinyl, it's underneath between the vinyl and the window, and he's just, once again, starting from the middle or from the inner part of the bubble and slowly pushing it towards the edge. That helps make the bubbles go away. Also, just get the big bubbles out, but just the little tiny ones, they tend to just kind of go away after a few days in the heat. They kind of just sink into the glass, and it's okay. So here he's found some more bubbles, and he's actually going to show you how to get them out. He did attempt, and he does get a little bit out, just kind of pushing it down to the edge to help get the air released from it. But he eventually does come back and actually uses the scraper to get it out, and we'll show that in a minute. But here he is just You see how you can kind of move the air around underneath the vinyl to get it to an edge where it will release the bubble. But he does eventually give up trying to use it, trying to get his finger to get the bubble out, and he does get the scraper out to actually make it work. So once again, he's just slowly folding the paper over and just peeling the transfer sheet back. Made a point to get the transfer paper away from the area he's working on so he doesn't get stuck to his arm or ruin the vinyl underneath it while he works the bubble out now, like he is. He's just pushing the bubble to wherever edge he feels like it might actually go to. Get the bubbles out from underneath the vinyl. Like I said, this entire process took him 20 minutes. And this is our second decal that we've had on the windows. The other one he actually just removed earlier this day, and I have a video of him removing it. And that vinyl had been on for about 8 years. It was my first window decal that I did. This is now my second. It is made from 651 Oracal vinyl. And that's what we use for the windows. And then anything on the glass, like the mountains behind his hand that you can't see right now, that's actually made from 951 Oracal vinyl. But he seems to like 651 on the glass and on the interiors, like the dashboards and stuff that we do. So here he's just going to go back through with his little scraper and push out any bubbles that he doesn't like. Like I said, the little tiny bubbles, those will disappear with heat in a few days. It'll suction to the glass and smooth out. But the bigger ones, he likes to go through and try to push out. And then because he's a bit particular about this, he does go back through again and just does a very fine, gentle slide over the vinyl of anything sticking beyond the glass. He just trims off very gently, but once again, you are trimming very close to your glass and your car, so do with caution, please.